Hi, today we're going to look at how we install our new Porcelain Palisade Pedestal and also inserting the chute. We're going to demonstrate this on a small table that I've made for display purposes. It's the same process, a bit different than from your house because you'll have to run up and down the stairs to go and check underneath the house. The process, you've seen the tool list that you need to use for installation. Let's begin. Okay, the next thing to do is to position the pedestal in your bathroom where you'd like to see it. So in this case here, I'm positioning it in the middle of this display table, like so. Now, what I suggest you do before you go any further is to take some measurements of about where that is, the hole's going to be, and then go underneath the house, and check that there's no pipes or electrical cables, or there may even be a joist in the way. If there is a joist in the way, what I suggest you do is put a trimmer joist in, or a couple trimmer joists, and that will be moved. Or alternatively, if you want to reposition the pedestal slightly to miss the joist. So you have the choices there on that. One of these templates as part of your pedestal package. So now position the template approximately where you want it, and then place the pedestal over that so you can see the hatch section. Place the actual hole over that hatch section. So nice and carefully, all right, and then you can move the pedestal to where you want it with the paper moving with it to exactly the right location. Now, this template has been designed in such a way that the back of the actual piece of paper is exactly in line with the back of the wall. So it makes it a bit simpler for you. Once you've positioned it and you're happy with the location of it, you can then tape the piece of paper to the floor. Okay, remove the pedestal. So now we have the template stuck here. You'll note also as part of the template there are two squares. That's actually the location of the holding down brackets for the actual pedestal. Good. I'll just stick that down better. Now we're going to cut this hole, and that's for the chute to be inserted through. Firstly, I like to drill a pilot hole next to where I'm going to be using the jigsaw. And then, using the jigsaw, follow this line. Double check. Beautiful. So now we've inserted the chute. What we're going to do before we take the piece of paper off, we're actually going to screw down the brackets because we need the template still to be able to position those. I actually position in the middle of those squares. Just remember, the porcelain pedestals are handmade, and because they're handmade, there's always some slight variation in each one. So you need to just be careful. That's why there's some adjustments as well for the actual brackets. Alright, so pre-drill the holes for that. Now I can remove the chute and the template. Off it. Grab the in-service chamber, and that could be the LP or the HP. Move it to where it's going to be positioned. So in this case here, I'm putting it in so that I can mark it properly. It should be, this is the way it'll actually be positioned ultimately, but in this case here, I'm just going to put it on an angle like this. Put your chute in. Now if your chute is too long and it's sitting on the ground, you might have to pre-cut it a little bit. I suggest with a white pencil or something right there. Exactly the same height as the actual chamber. Take that out, and there you can see. Okay. Now, what we need to do is to cut this chamber now 20 mils higher than that. So in other words, shorter. Grab your tape measure, measure 20 mils and mark it So that's what we want to now cut the chute to that length. So now you can see the chamber should easily move in underneath once the lid's off it. So what we're going to do now is at this point we've now put the brackets on. We'll probably just have to put the pedestal on and make sure that the brackets are in the right location, because there's some adjustment in the brackets. I also recommend at this point you probably put a bit of silicone around the edge of the chute here, just to seal it for vermin. And also sometimes it's a good idea to actually, and I'm not going to do this here because this is a display unit and we have to be able to dismantle it, but if you mark with a pencil the edge of the pedestal, remove the pedestal and then place a bead of silicone around that, then put the pedestal back on top. That'll just make the pedestal seat a bit better, especially on ceramic tiles. There we go, nice snug fit. You can have a look down here. Chute fits nicely. And then with your other screws that you've got, there's two of those. Very carefully, so you don't ruin the porcelain, screw these into the bracket. Insert the caps. Latches, hooks are at the back. Putting this over the chute, and then should be a nice snug fit, work its way up, and that's now in position. So it should stay there in position. Now you can actually slide your chamber in, make sure it's in the right position, and then push the lid back down over the actual thing and lock it in place, latch it up, and you're good to go.